I think that there are a lot less independent people in business, and I think that because of that, it's much harder to make a scene and have an environment. And I think that you need to have that to make a culture. And I think that it's a lot tougher to do that now because kids want to spend their money on mobile phones and computers and Palm Pilots, and I think that the sartorial aspect of fitting in is has to be measured and balanced against that as well. I think that English kids are very cutting edge. I think they've always have a very strong history of youth culture, and I think that Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I think that the business is. Yeah, I think that there's great tradition for youth culture and fashion and alternative stuff in London, and I think that I was a well-travelled. I'm a well-travelled person, and I don't think many people from here really travelled a lot, and I could find stuff. I could find a niche for stuff which wasn't available here. After being, inspired by different people that I met. I lost my job. I worked in the city and I was a futures trader in 1989, and that was kind of good timing for me because I don't know, but yeah, I'm happy about that because it gave me a chance to work for myself and do what I was doing, and that's good. But I think people. I've got to thank all the people from London and from around the country who were into the same things as me. But I didn't really create anything. I just was in the right place at the right time, and lucky. I've often put records out, put many records out, and I've worked with really great people like Hiroshi Fujiwara or Whatever We Want Records, and it's very exciting to work with independent people. I like that. I'm a businessman. I like that. There's a saying that the English are a nation of shopkeepers, and that's what I am. But I think it's changing now because the multiples are really involved in what's going on, and it trying to exploit the culture, as hard as they can, and big companies pay, scouts to tell them what colour is going to be popular or what kind of print or and I suppose that's cool. I'm not like that at all. Yeah, of course we are. Look at Tesco's or Starbucks or any of those companies. Of course we are. I just take each day as it goes, and I try and do what I'm into. I try and be as nice as I can to the people that I come across, and I try and do the things that I believe in as much as I can. And I look at the way people live and organise their lives and eat and love, and that's all I do. I'm into, you know, electronic music. I think, you know, the best thing about music is that it's one of the only things which, you know, can make you feel better without harming your health. I mean, she's really into an animation called Totoro. Really, she likes anything of the right standard. Same as us all, right? It's got to be of the right standard. Well, I put out a record called Nina's Dance, you know, when she was born, yeah, which was made by this guy called Prince Fatty, and yeah, it went well. It got 20 plays on Radio 1. We did it with Stussy. It was like an old school dub record, and yeah, the guy, he went on to produce Lily Allen's album.
Okay.
So he had a great year afterwards.
Wow.
He's just made a great record with one of the daughters of Paul Cook from Sex Pistols. It's really good. Really, really good. I know, I think I got Simon Smith and his amazing Dancing Bear. That was my first record. But you know, I think kids' records in themselves, that's a whole
Different
interesting genre. But I was aware of music from very young age. I've always been really aware of it. You know, get sucked into it. Now probably I get a little bit too sucked into it, because you know, it's easy to, you know, like if you put a young child in front of the TV, you know, you can't really talk to them. You know, and I get too sucked into it. But again, it's not a bad thing. It's not the worst thing that can happen. No, I'm just not interested in DJing for people I don't know, playing stuff to please them. I don't care. Just I'm not interested in that at all. The best thing for me is to play a record that my wife's really into and makes a nice atmosphere, you know, for us. I love that. Or sharing something with, you know, other DJs. Like, it's really nice to go to see Harvey, give him a record, you know, I've got him into this, or see, you know, Alex in my office, or Joel Martin, or Luca, and, you know, exchange it. But it's much more personal, and I've come all the way around, and that's where I am, really. It's very personal. You know, there are really a lot of great graphic brands out there, and great designers, and there's good stuff in America. There's good stuff. I mean, you know, I think there's a lot of good stuff, but I think that it's not so relevant to me. You know, all these kids are discovering movies and discovering all that stuff, and it's a healthy thing, but for me, that's not so exciting anymore. So the t-shirts and the things that I want to do are really based around the things that the company is doing or we're into. The difference between us and the difference between the other people is we're culture-based. What we're doing is based in culture. It's not fashion. What I wear, or what you wear, or what he wears hasn't changed for the past 10 years. We wear pants, or we wear a knit, or we wear a t-shirt, and that's what we wear. And we want to make culture-based stuff which relates to culture, not stuff which is going to be obsolete, which is, you know, obsolete the next season and old-fashioned. It's why would we want to do that? It's the whole thing about throwing stuff away and building up loads of stuff. You know, all this stuff. It's embarrassing. It's like fungus, you know. It's a desperate cry for help.